Black Ops. Tactical espionage wargaming in a terrifying, not nearly distant enough future, written by Guy Bowers, part of the Osprey Wargaming series. We're going to play this second session in our ongoing campaign. By the way, if you think it's a little louder in the background here than usual, the House of Wargaming has added a second African gray parrot to the flock. I also went ahead and I was ordering some compass roses, this kind of thing, for fighting sale from our good friends at Litco, and decided, hey, while I'm doing it, why don't you go ahead and throw in a game upgrade set compatible with Black Ops, multicolor, 50 of these status tokens. Oh man, we are living large, brother. Look at this. Look at this. No more Michigan rummy chips for us, at least when we're playing Black Ops. We've got, what are these? Suppression markers, which we should really just be a little better about taking advantage of. We've got hidden markers. That's the ones that are hard to see. Oh, I get it. We've got some reserves, some running. Remember, running causes noise, all kinds of good stuff. Disguised. We haven't even talked about that. It's not going to happen in this scenario. Let's take a look at our forces. The rules for Black Ops require a red team and a black team. So purely because of that requirement, I painted up one of my forces with red hats. The other force is dressed in black. These are the law enforcement officials who are trying to enforce a lot of laws. Basically, in the last episode, we decided that there's a fake plague roaming around, and these guys are looking for intel that they can publish on some kind of a web, perhaps a dark one, that would prove once and for all that the government that these guys work for is thoroughly corrupt and selling out the nation. They were successful in securing some intel that pointed them to an NPC, a guy that can help them achieve their aims. And he is the hacker known as the Faux Urchin. Now they got to go scope out his house. And unfortunately, these guys also know about the hacker known as Faux Urchin. And so what we got here are two match sets. They're both about 50-point figures, 50-point teams. And we've got an ace who will activate on the black aces. We've got a sniper backing him up. He activates on kings. And these are 5 agents that activate on jacks. Now, when they shoot, when they fight, they're successful on a 4-up. On the other side, you've got a mix of forces. The leader of the red hats here is, what do we call him? His name is Ronald Wildcard. And then he activates on a red ace. He's got 8 guys coming with him. 3 veterans, you know they're veterans because they take cover. See how they're kneeling behind cover when the bullets fly? They also succeed on fighting and shooting on 4-up. These guys are a lot more, shall we say, enthusiastic than they are skilled. They are successful on 3-ups, and as you can see, there's 5 of them, and they're not smart enough to take cover when the bullets start flying. They've watched one too many action movies and like running straight into the teeth of machine gun nests, which I guess is good for good old Ronald here. For those of you in the cheap seats, we are going to be playing on the Defile board, and this is what it looks like on my table. As you can see, we've got a dirt road cutting through the middle, and then an uncrossable stream. For the record, all of our terrain bases with trees on them are woods that block line of sight. The forests also block line of sight, the hills also block line of sight, as do the tall grass patches. These are very tall. I guess it's midsummer. The grass is over your head, so you cannot see across these grass. The hills are not tall enough to be able to see past the woods. As usual, we've got a couple of swamps that are uncrossable, but they do not block line of sight. And then the Jeep also, does that block line of sight? I think it does. And then there's a water tank back there that also blocks line of sight. The garden here, our survivalist, the cabin of the hacker known as Faux Urchin, of course it blocks the line of sight. The garden does not, but it is rough going, so moving across that garden, it's got pretty deep furrows. What kind of a wackadoo grows his own food, huh? Gardening is one of my other hobbies. I grow my own food. Man, killer harvested cucumbers this year, brother. These are my cards. I forgot my deck of cards, so I just went ahead and made up. You'll see what they look like here in just a second. But before we draw the first card and see who gets to have the first dance at the ball, we need to figure out which of these forces is coming on where. And they're going to start within 3 inches of the border. My table's a little too small, and of course it's raining, so if you hear the pitter-patter of rain, then, hey, you know what? It's raining here too. I love doing this. Whatever the weather is outside, that's the weather on table. The rain on the table means that visibility is limited to 18 inches. It's not a heavy rain. So even if you have full line of sight, 18 inches is the farthest you can see. Bear in mind the table is 3 feet across and then about 2 feet that way. I want to say 2.5, so it doesn't cut it down a whole lot, but it might make a difference, particularly for that sniper over there. Anyway, red die, red hats, whoever rolls highest gets to pick their side. The red hats get to choose which side they come on. The yellow markers are, of course, our surveillance points. The story here is that both sides have shown up to the backwoods cabin of the hacker known as Faux Urchin, and they need to surveil the place. You can surveil the cabin from these 4 places, and then, of course, checking out what he's growing in the patch here, and, of course, you might want to check out the engine of the Jeep, put a tracker, something like that. As they arrive at the table, they realize that they're not alone, that the other guys have the same idea. Both of them want to get more intel than the other guys. Whoever does will be able to control the hacker known as Faux Urchin. So, with the red winning that initiative roll, they get to choose which side they want to come on. And I think they're going to want to come... Bear in mind, the reason we placed these the way we did. There are 3 on each side of the river and 3 on each side of the woods. So you're going to have to hustle to get that 4th surveillance marker. Whoever grabs 4, the scenario ends automatically. The other guys will realize they've been beaten and immediately withdraw. Why the hacker known as Faux Urchin won't come out when the gunfire starts? Hey, you're probably thinking that, and it's a great question. No, I will not explain. Deployment for the red hats. I said 3 inches. We're going to go ahead and bump them up just a little bit more here to give them every advantage they can find. We'll do the same on the other side. Everybody comes on the table. As you see, we've got our leader with 1 mook here. We've got 3 mooks over there, and then all 3 veterans with 1 mook down here. Remember that the mooks are hitting on 5-ups, the veterans on 4-up. On the other side of the table now, the feds have a couple of mooks here to race up and grab those first 2 markers. They're going to go strong up the middle, but the big thing is this sniper here has got a clever plan to try to deny the Jeep surveillance point by laying down some covering fire. So let's go ahead and turn over the first card, and we'll see who gets to start the dance. Red Hat Mooks. See, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. Red Hat Mooks. So let's kick it back to the other side of the table. That card activates all of the red hats, and they can all move 9 inches. Sort of. This fella here can move 1 inch up, and then it's going to be 4.5 inches, so he's moved 6.5. With the halved movement, he's only going to be able to move 1.75 inches, which puts him just shy of that surveillance point. These other 3 guys are... Can any of them make it up? This guy can move 4.5, and then that gives him basically 2.75, so he can get to there. Again, he's not on it. These 2 guys can move 9 inches to here and take cover behind the water tank. And then these 4 guys are also going to race up 9 inches. It'll be 1 inch to there, and then 8 inches to here. And I think what we'll do is we'll send 2 around this way, and we'll send 3. The individual trees, by the way, the whole base blocks line of sight and movement. So with 3 inches to there, and then another 5 inches to here, and I think we stop there, and this fella's going to move 3, and then 6 to there. These trees get moved around to make room for the individual bases, and of course all of this stuff, the whole base provides cover when you're getting shot at. So if we grab our deck and turn over the next card, the Red Hat Mooks get to go again. Ooh, that's kind of ugly. So if this guy moves 3 inches to the car, he can hide. In fact, both of these guys are going to move up, and I think we'll shift the camera a little bit. so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to have a guy take cover behind the wheel here and here. This guy will move up to the wood pile, and he's going to come to here, so he's got contact there. Then these guys, well, let's see here. If he runs around the outside 3 inches to there and 1.5 inches to here, and he can just come cruise right on in there. We'll say that you can see, do we want them on the edge of the woods so they can shoot out, or in the woods so they can't be shot at? We'll stop them right there. And then these guys, they move 6 inches. They can lay down some covering fire. At a -1, +1, it'll be a 5 up on the covering fire. Now, everybody else moved a total of, oh boy, this gets fun. Because we know those guys the feds are all going to get 2 actions before these red hats get to go again. And they haven't gotten one of their surveillance. It might be a cakewalk for the feds on this one. Yeah, we'll bring them up to here. And here. And then these 2 guys are going to lay down covering fire. Suppressing fire. Where do they go that they can do that, though? They really can't. I guess we'll move them up to here. If they only move 3 inches, they could be hidden. The good news is these guys are hidden over here. And I have, look at these lovely little hidden markers I got. Courtesy of Litco. I could probably put them under the guy. It's a little bit awkward, but that's all right. So remember, they only move 3 inches each, so they're good. And I think these guys can be hidden as well. Because they started in the garden. If they only move 3 inches, they're basically, they can't see or be shot at. And if they do shoot, they pop up. It counts as having moved, so it's a whole thing. We're not going to worry about it. We're going to move on to the next card. The next card is going to be the Fed Sniper gets to go. And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to move 9 inches, knowing that he's not going to be shot at before he gets another action. He's going to crawl on up to here, and he's looking to get up there. Next up is going to be so Ron Wildcard is where's my spent cards? Oh, okay. Ron Wildcard goes next, and he is the leader of the Red Hats. He's going to use his 9 inches to race into these woods here. That's all he can do. The Fed Sniper gets to go again. And now he can move a total of 7 inches, and he's 1 inch away. He can only move 1 inch onto that, so he's a little too far away, unfortunately for him. But he is behind cover, so he doesn't have to worry about getting shot at. Now, Ray Guitard is the leader of the Black Hats. That's him, just over here. So moving 9 inches, he's going to race up to... Well, that one's covered. Maybe he wants to race over to here and just make contact with that surveillance. Can you see him behind the tree there? You can see him now. He's actually a little bit short. He's going to have to spend one more move to get there or order someone to help him. Now the Fed Mooks get to go. So they'll come up, and they're just a little bit further away from him. That's fine. That's not a problem. You do need line of sight in order to use that other card. So 9 inches will put these guys right here. And then I'll move that tree so you can see those guys too. And then the Red Hat Joker means our leader gets to go. And where is he? He's right here. So he can move 1.5 inches and take a shot. But remember, he's only got a... What can we do with him? Oh, he can order these guys. He can give these Reading the rules is fun. It allows a single model to make one action. He can take an action or he can exchange. So this guy is going to take his action and recover this intel. The Red Hats have scored the first intelligence coup of the game, but that's all they can do. Next up is going to be Ray Guitard, who is going to do the same and say, hey, you, get on the point. You know what? He's far enough away. He's actually going to order this guy to take an action. He's 6 inches away, so he's going to race over to here. And with 6 inches, he now has the ability to take a shot with his pistol. Because he is on the move with the pistol, he can actually lay down some covering fire at this point. And the fun thing about pistols is because they are light weapons, where is it? You can move 6 inches without suffering any penalty. He's going to be hitting on a 3-up, and I think pistols have 2 shots. So that is correct. So he's going to start opening fire on these guys, hoping to keep their heads down. We can get those out of the way now, can't we? They are... How far away are they? Pistols have a range of 6 and 12. But since he's firing to right here for suppression, he's going to be hitting on 3s. He gets 2 suppression markers, and that's going to go right there. And I'll show you how those work once it becomes their turn. And that's it for Ray's turn. Then the Fed mooks get to go. He's going to spend his action investigating, and now the Feds have one. Sniper's going to move up onto this one. Oh, no, he's not a mook, is he? All right, so that's one. He's going to move on to this one. And then we've got 2 more guys that are itching to go, and they're actually going to run. He's going to run straight over to here. The bridge does block line of sight. It's high enough that you can stand behind it. And then this guy will do the same. 4 inches to there, and then 5 inches, he can kind of take cover right there. Nobody has any... I guess he could fire, but at who? That's it. Then it's going to be Ron Wildcard, leader of the Red Hats. He now has an opportunity to do the same. He's going to stay motionless. He's going to fire 2 suppression shots right here to try and keep these guys on their side of the bridge. He's got an automatic weapon which gives him an extra shot when he does not move. Ron is shooting with accuracy of 4. He has not moved, so that becomes a 3. And then because he is firing suppression, he's only hitting on 2s, anything but a 1. So he lays down 3 suppression markers on the bridge top. And that's all he's doing for this turn. And then we have the Fed Joker. What did I miss here? Do I have 2 Fed Jokers? I think I mixed this up. Oh yeah, I think Ray gave somebody an order when he wasn't supposed to do that. I think this is Ray's second, and I moved the wrong guy too. Well, I'm really all over the place. This is Ray right here, and he's going to... Ray is going to run over to... He can't even get to that point, can he? Let's move him over to here. Close as he can get. He's behind the ridge, so he can't be shot at. We'll zoom in on the action here, and we'll shuffle up our cards as best we can. I double-checked the suppression rules, and suppression markers carry over when they have targeted a person, or a model, I should say. When they're targeting an area, they are removed at the end of the turn, so those didn't do a whole lot of good. Now, when they hit a point, they affect all models within 3 inches. These guys are within 3 inches, but without line of sight, I don't know what that means. It's when a model moves within 3 inches. So the way I interpret this to work is that if you are within 3 inches of a point, then it doesn't affect you. It's not until you move and you're within 3 inches that they will affect you. That being said, we've removed the counters. We're ready to look at who goes first. It's going to be the Fed mooks. And I know that's a little blurry. I've got the autofocus on so that every time I move my hand in, it doesn't do that weird with the autofocus. So the Fed mooks are going to go, and that means they're going to score a second intel. And then we're going to repeat that process. He is going to open fire at, he could probably hit these guys and deliver. He's taking what has he got? He's going to be shooting 3 shots because he's not moving. And it's going to be -1 for the range, so he's hitting on 5s. But without moving, he's hitting on 4s, but they're in cover, so it also becomes 5s. So he's going to go ahead and take all 3 shots, hitting on 5s. Suppression, so he's hitting on 4s. He only gets 1 suppression marker. So that goes there, and then they'll have to decide something. With no suppression markers available over here, what can we do about securing one of those intel? We got some funny business to deal with over here. Let's zoom in on that. He went and he went, so we have to decide what to do with these 2 guys. There we go. I zoomed in on the action on these 2 guys. Now Blondie here wants to notice this red hat. And in order for that red hat to stay hidden, normally, if he's within 12 inches in the wide open, he only stays hidden on a 6. The game gets a little wonky here because they're trying to do both the standard and the stealth mode at the same time. So normally he would stay hidden on a 6, but because he is hidden, he's going to stay hidden on a 4-up, and because he is behind cover, it becomes a 3-up, he stays hidden. So only on a 1 or a 2 can Blondie see him. So Blondie can't see him. Blondie can still take a shot and fire some suppression in this area. And he's going to drop it right here at the tail end of this Jeep. Because he's not moving. Now, I don't know that observation negates your aimed point. I kind of think you're aiming and it's the same thing, right? So because he's firing at effective range, 6 inches is going to be to right here. Normally he hits on a 4-up. It's close range. It becomes a 3-up, and then he's aiming. It's a 2-up, and suppression means it's going to be a 1-up. 1s are the only misses, so he's going to drop 3 suppression markers right here. Anybody that moves in this area is going to be suppressed. Then this guy gets to go, and he's going to move 5 inches to the end of the bridge, and then he moves 1 inch back to take cover behind this tree, and then he's going to fire a couple of suppression markers right here. Now, he moved 6 inches. With the pistol, that means because the pistol is light, he's got no negative on that. But because he moved, he's only going to get to fire 2 shots altogether. And firing right here, it's going to be 4-up, 2 shots, but because it's suppression, he needs a 3-up and then a 2-up because it's close range. So with a 4 and a 4, and we'll slide these up just so you can see. With a 4 and a 4, he is going to drop 2 suppression markers. I don't have nearly enough suppression markers for this. So he drops those kind of right there. And that's it for the Fed Mooks. Next up is going to be Ray Guitard, who's going to step up onto this point right there. And then it's going to be the Fed Sniper, who's going to move up, take his 1 shot, and again, he's going to fire right here to keep everybody off of this intel. And he's going to roll a 3, which at short range, normally he hits on a 4. It's going to be a 3 for the short range, a 2 for the suppression, and he's going to drop yet another suppression. I'm out of suppression markers. Okay. These running markers are now suppression. Probably could have used a lot more, a lot fewer reserve and a lot more suppression. Next up is going to be, now the Red Hat Mooks, we're going to have an issue. And we'll start over here and work our way back down to the grasslands, because this is where it gets really complicated. The first thing I'm going to do is race this guy over to here. Oh, wait a second. He's running into a suppression marker. And in fact, he's going to be racing into, is he 3 inches away? He's not. So racing, well, he was hidden, but he's not anymore. In order to do this, I think he's going to have to pass a dedication check. as I read these rules, and correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, you only need to do the dedication check when that suppression exceeds the number of models. Count up the suppression markers on a unit. If it exceeds the number of models, a dedication test must be made. However, if we go back to the other section and look at suppression, face the fire, if the target wants to act, it must resolve hits exactly as for any other successful hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll his dedication, but I still think, man, you're running into fire. You're sticking your head around the corner when there's active gunfire. In order to do that, he's going to have to pass a dedication check, and with a dedication of 3, he does. Now he's exposing himself to the fire, and that means he's got to take the hit, which means he has to save versus that rifle shot. And he saves on a 5-up, but he is behind cover, so we'll give him the 4-up save. And with a 2, that's a failure, so he goes down, but the suppression marker is removed, which frees this guy up to become unhidden, and he pops the hood, and despite all of the gunfire around him, he takes his action and secures that second intel. Then we got to deal with this guy here, who is going to retreat away from the suppression markers and remain hidden. And all 3 of these, well, I think you only remove one of those, and the other 2 stay in place. Then this guy has the same situation where as long as he stays hidden, he can't activate these. But if he tries to move, he cannot. So what we'll do is we'll pull him away to there, so he can score that 3rd one. Then we've got 2 guys over here that are, what can they do? They don't have line of sight, so they're gonna have to kind of expose themselves to fire. And I don't know if maybe we just go ahead and get into melee with this guy over here. Maybe we can go jump him, or maybe we get into an extreme firefight. Oh, you know what? You can't do that because that you would be within 3 inches of the suppression marker. They're not running into the barrel of a gun. All right, fine. They're going to shoot at this guy hiding behind the tree right here. We're going to have 2 guys firing at, well, it's less than 18 inches. We know that. It's less than 12 inches. It's going to be 2 shots at 4-up. On average, we're hitting once. Or 6 shots at 5-up. I think we got to shoot the 6-up. On average, we'll get 2 hits. It's 5-up because it's still short range, but he is behind cover. So hitting on 5s, and we get, on average, well, we got the 1 hit anyway. Okay. Now he's behind cover, so all he can do is he's got a... Normally he saves on a 4-up, but it's going to be a 5-up. No, it's going to be a 3-up because he's got the cover there. And so he's good. Does he have to make a dedication check? He's not in the open. I don't think he does. But we do have 2 more guys down here who can... Well, first we have to resolve this suppression marker. And they can either retreat or take the hit. This guy is going to take the hit. He's got to make a save. He saves on a... This is... the grass is light cover. 4. Normally he saves on a 5-up. Because of the cover, he saves on the 4-up. And he's okay. There are fewer hits than there are guys. And they're in cover, so he doesn't have to pass a dedication check. These 2 guys are also going to shoot at him. And they're going to do the same thing. We've got a veteran firing 3 shots. He's going to hit on... Back this up just a little bit more so you can see his target. The veteran is going to fire 3 shots. He is hitting on 4-up. He's hitting on 5-up because of the cover. So he gets 1 hit. And then he is going to fire a single aim shot. It's going to be... let me think about that. He's going to... If he fires 3 shots... Normally he hits on a 5. It's going to be, I think that's it. 3 shots at 5-up. because the cover goes into the cover save. I think he got 2 hits. And I think he takes 3 shots on a 5-up and gets 1. So this guy now has to pass 3 saves. And with a 6, 4, and 4, he does. Wow, Iron Man over here. The bulletproof glow in the dark. How about that? That's it for the Red Hats. Everybody's acted. Fed Sniper gets to take a shot, and he's going to go ahead and... Oh, he gets to take an action anyway. He doesn't have line of sight to anybody. Except maybe the leader over here. Nope, this tree is in the way. He's going to go on reserve. Now Ray gets to go. Ray is going to claim this 3rd one, so now it becomes just a simple run and gun. Well, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. There's still 1 left. The Fed Mooks get to go. So they may be able to do something tricky over here. And this guy can move up to the corner of the house. That's 4 inches. Oh, no, he can't, because he just suppressed himself. You just suppressed yourself, bro. What could he do to shoot at this guy? He really can't, can he? And he can't move to within 3 inches of that. Well, that's good to know. All right, well, he doesn't have to worry about getting shot, so we're going to move him up to here. And I guess we'll move this guy up to the bridge as well. It's 5 inches to get across. He's going to come over here. And then why don't we just go ahead? These 2 guys, he's going to slide over here. So we're going to have a total of 1, 2, 3 guys shooting over here at these guys. The guy in front now, oh, he's no longer hidden. He did his, oh, no, he was because he moved back. Once per activation, we got to see if he stays hidden or not. We'll roll the d6. We'll roll the d6, and we'll get a 3, which it's going to be 6, but he's behind cover. Is that it? I feel like that 3 is a failure, like he needed a 4 up. Oh, he's hidden, becomes 4. 3, no, he's successful, so he stays hidden, so he can't be targeted. All right, well, let's go ahead and use this guy. He's got to slide over, so he can take 2 shots right here. That is going to be at beyond 6 inches. So he is at -1 for the range, -1 for the cover. No. I always think cover affects the 2 hit. It doesn't. It affects the save. All right, so that means he's going to be shooting, and he's hitting on 4s. He's hitting on 5s. He's going to take 2 shots here. He gets 1 hit, and this guy is going to... he normally saves on a 5. He's in cover, saves on a 4, and he goes down. Then we've got... see, they moved, and they don't have anybody to shoot at unless they start laying down more suppression fire. I think that's it for those guys. You know what? This guy can go on reserve as well. And that's really about all he can do. Red Hat Joker. So he can take an action. He's going to go ahead and shoot over here at this guy. We haven't seen the shotgun yet. The shotgun is fun. The guy he's shooting at is unarmored, so it's a +1 to the save for him. 9 inches is the close range. So he gets a +1 for that. He's hitting on 4s, hitting on 3s for range. And the shotgun is going to be... Is it auto? He gets 2 shots. No way. And it's auto. Oh, no, he's got an assault rifle. I'm sorry. He doesn't have a shotgun. 9 inches for short range. He's going to fire all 3 shots. And he's hitting on 4s. It's close range, so he's hitting on 3s. He's only going to get 1 hit. And this Fed is going to save. He's not going to save. He's going to go down. So that reserve does him no good. Then the federal leader gets to take an action. And he's going to... he doesn't have any line of sight for anything interesting. He's going to tell this guy to take an action. So Blondie here behind the tree, I'll scoot him up just so you can kind of see the tippy top of his little head there. He's going to force him to make an observation check, and on a 6-up, he's successful, so he still can't see him. Which means he's going to lay down a couple of suppression markers. He gets 2 hits, and we're going to drop 2 more suppression over here. And now I think those guys are going to have to make a dedication check, but they'll do that on their turn. Ron Wildcard gets... Did I do the wrong thing again? Red Hat Joker? Oh, no, that's Ron. Okay. So now he can take an action. He's going to move up to... He can only move 1.5 inches, but I think if he slides up next to this guy, that'll give him an ability to shoot at him. And the range there is going to be right at 9 inches. He's only going to get to take 2 shots because he moved. And he's going to get 1 hit, hitting on a 5. Oh, no, he's hitting on 4s, actually. For a save, that guy is going to pass his save. And because he's in cover, he doesn't have to make a dedication check. Ron Wildcard gets to go again, and so he might as well take another 3 shots with his assault rifle. And he's going to get 2 hits this time. So that forces this guy to make 2 saves, and he's going to save on 3-up. He makes them both. And things have really bogged down to a static firefight, haven't they? Red Hat Mooks get to go. So there's our 3rd piece, and this guy now loses the benefit of being hidden. He found the where the hacker known as Faux Urchin is growing the halfling leaf. Let's say these 2 fellas are going to have to move up if they want to take a shot, and then they're going to shoot at this guy. They're going to get a total of 4 shots, and the colored dice are going to be for the rookie, and the white dice are for the veteran. They're shooting at less, well, is it 9 inches or less? Is it 9 inches? Yeah, it's less than 9 inches. So they're going to get a +1 for that. +1 for that is it. So it's going to be, the colored dice are going to be hitting on 4s, and the white dice on 3s. That's going to be a total of 3 hits for this guy to save, and he's going to have to roll 3-up. And he saves all 3 times. The old stone bridge is a heck of a safety device. Now, he's going to fire 3 shots because he's not moving. He's going to fire 3 shots, and he's hitting on 3s because he's a veteran. See how he's kneeling down? So he has to roll 3 more times, and he gets a 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And then these guys are... What do we got here? We got... None of the feds are pulled down. They're going to go ahead and they're going to pull back out of the line of sight. And that resolves... Well, are they? Yeah, they have to. Otherwise, they take the hits, and the Red Hats can't afford to lose any more guys. They've already lost... Well, here, it's a 2-1. Here's our graveyard up here. It's 2-1 in favor of the feds. So that's the end of the turn. If all of our Red Hats have gone, they have. Okay, so these all get cleared. And really what we're looking for is, we're looking to get down to less than half of the force. If they can put down 2 more feds, if they can put down 3 more Red Hats, then we'll have to start making some dedication checks. I moved the camera to add a little bit of visual interest here. Remember the guys on the hill back here? That's just our graveyard. The Red Hat Joker means that he gets to take an action. And he's going to order him to fire 3 shots at this guy. he can't keep getting away with it. So 3 shots, we're still hitting on, well, it's aimed, it's close range, so it's plus he's hitting on normally 3s. No, it's not aimed, I'm sorry, but it's 3 shots hitting on 4s, close range, he's hitting on 3s. He misses with all 3 shots. Next card is going to be the Red Hat Mooks. So now we're going to fire. 1, it's going to be 3, 6 shots hitting on 3s, and 3 shots hitting on 4s. This guy has to go down eventually, right? It's going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He has to roll 6 dice, and they all have to come up 3 or higher. And 5 of the 6 came up 3 or higher, but the 1 failure is enough. He finally, after a veritable hail of bullets, goes down, and the Red Hats take the lead. If the Red Hats can put down 1 more guy, then it's going to be the Bad News Bears. We're going to go ahead and bring this. Ooh, we're going to have to measure now. We're going to bring. He's behind cover there. Let's bring. Let's bring these 3 guys through here. They're going to take up position behind the Jeep, and they're going to shoot over here at the sniper, who's no longer on reserve. Now, they each have auto rifles. They're all Mooks. They're firing at close range. They moved 6 inches, so they're at -1. Okay, here's how this works. They can fire a total of 6 shots, but they're at -1 because they moved, so they only hit on 6s. And is there any other minus that they're facing? I don't think there is. They just don't get the benefit of the extra shot. So it's going to be 6 shots, hitting on 6, shooting at the sniper here, who's at the top of the ridge. They get a total of 2 hits. That sniper has to save, and he saves on a, what are we going to call it, a 5-up? On a 4-up. He's laying down on top of the ridge. Let's just roll and see what happens. That, too, is absolutely a failure. So now, at the end of the turn, they're going to have to make a dedication check or retreat. The universal rule is that the game continues until the objectives are met, one side breaks, or one side, hey, the Fed sniper gets to go, or one side concedes, which we're not going to do because the only side is you and me, the viewer, and we want to see what happens next. Oh, that Fed sniper's dead. So this card came up a little too late. Now the Fed Joker means this leader gets to move, and he's going to give somebody an order. No, he's got a shotgun, and he's going to go ahead and take a shot. He can fire 2 shots. Wait, no, it's automatic. Yeah, he gets to fire 2 shots with that shotgun. And he's going to fire at this group of guys right here. The shotgun has a range of 9 inches. We are well within 9 inches. Those guys are behind cover, but he's going to be hitting on a 3. Oh, he's going to be hitting on a 2 because he's at short range. So 2 shots, hitting on a 2. And that's a really interesting way to land. So that's a hit, and that's a hit. So he's going to land 2 hits on that group of 3 mooks over there. They're going to have to save at 4 up. One of them saves, one of them does not. And that's it. The number of hits does not exceed the number of dudes. They're in cover. They're fine. To keep going without a dedication check. The Red Hat Mooks get to go. So, what do we do here? What do we do with you guys? You can only move 6 inches. So 5, You know, I think we move these guys up to here. That's 6 inches. I think we bring him over to here. He's in cover. And then that's it for line of sight, man. I'm wondering if maybe we shouldn't bring these guys 3 to like right here to the corner of that bridge. Now, they can't fire or anything, but he can. He moved. He's only going to get 2 shots, and because he moved 6 inches, he's going to be at -1. He's only hitting on a 5. He's shooting at Blondie over here, and he's going to roll, and he's going to miss with both shots. Then it's going to be Ron Wildcard is going to get to go. Now, he's over here, and with somebody within 6 inches, he can say, hey, shoot again. It's going to be 3 shots this time at +1 for, +1 because he's close. So he's going to be hitting on 4s. And then he's going to be hitting on 3s. 3 shots, hitting on 3s. He hits all 3 times. This guy is going to be saving on 3s. And he fails, so he goes down. And the only 2 guys left are this Mook and the ace over here. And that means it is Ray's turn to go. And what are you going to do, Ray? Let's take another shot with that shotgun. We just evolved into a firefight at a bridge. It's going to be 1 hit on these 2 guys over here. That guy is going to save on a fail, so he goes down. And now they're going to be making dedication checks as well. The Fed Mooks get to go. It's just this one guy who is not facing the... Well, no, they're basically shooting across the... I kind of think he can see this guy. They're kind of like shooting around the bridge here. Right? There's everybody. So they're basically just kind of trading shots around the corner there. We'll give him the shot. Why not? He's going to take all 3 shots. He's hitting on 3s. Hey, if it wraps up the game, so that's going to be 2 hits over here on that guy. He's going to have to save on... normally the veterans save on a 4-up. Is that right? No, 5-up. It's going to be 4-ups. He's going to fail 1, and he's going to go down. I think it's just going to come down to the end. Nah, don't move him. Don't move him. You can't just fall in. Fed Sniper is out of the game. Ron Wildcard is going to get to take an action. And I think what do we do? Why don't we go ahead and... 6 inches. Kind of like hanging on to him. He's got the automatic. Why doesn't he order this guy to take an action? So he's going to slide around. And he's going to pop off a couple of shots. Now, he's a bit of a... No! Order him to take a shot at him. Because it's 3 shots. Is it 9 inches? It's just about within 9 inches. So it's going to be 3 shots at him, hitting on 3s. It's close range. 2 hits for Ray to try and save. Ray, that 1 is going to be a failure. And I think that's the end of the game. We've got a total of 4 Red Hats versus 1 Federal agent. Call it a big win for the Red Hats. The next thing we have to do is roll for the intel chart to kind of make this more interesting. The Red Hats are now able to, rifle the pockets of the Federal guys and steal their 6 intel. As part of the Black Ops campaign, once you are done with the scenario, there's a fun little chart you roll on to see whether or not you actually got the intel. And you're looking for... Where is it? Here we go. Higher numbers are better. Look at that, 6. If you look at the chart here, it's at the top of page 43. See that 6? We'll focus in. Jackpot. The mission gains you 2 intel. That means our Red Hats are up to 4 intel. We could roll, and on a 4 or less, they have a strategic victory. We'd play 1 more game to see if they can score a total victory, but we're not going to do that. 2 scenarios. Come on, we still got a whole bunch more to play here. We're going to let it ride. We're going to leave our chips on red, and we're going to spin that roulette wheel again and come back with another scenario. in, probably about a week. We'll see who can... Oh, so as far as the narrative is concerned, I guess what happened is the Red Hats were able to find out that the hacker known as 4chan just wants a what would it be? An anime girlfriend? And so they're going to go about trying to secure one on the next one. Do you want to roll and see what our next scenario is? Boy, I sure do. I don't like living in suspense. This will also give me time to make sure I've got all of my terrain ready to go. So we'll take a look here at the scenario charts. And that means rolling the dice to see what our next mission is going to be. We roll, and on a 3, it's going to be espionage. Important documents must be stolen from the enemy. All right, so the hacker known as Faux Urchin, the Red Hats have discovered that hacker wants an anime girlfriend. They need to make anime real. And that means they need to steal the documentation that the Black Hats have been sitting on. They've had the technology for years. The Red Hats need to make anime girls real so that they can get the hacker known as Faux Urchin to give them the information they need that they've hacked out of the databases to prove that the ongoing, plague is actually just statistical jiggery-pokery. Let's say that on a 4, we're looking for, secret enemy plans. That makes sense. And then the last roll of the dice is to see which table we're going to play on. It's being flown out. Play on the terminal board. I don't know about that. We've already seen the terminal board. Let's re-roll and see if the dice tell us. Play on the factory board. I like that better. The factory board is going to look something like this. You've got a nice big fence surrounding the factory with a few outbuildings, a little road coming in, lots of... So we got a lot of possibilities here. This may actually be more of a construction site, but it makes sense. This is the research facility where they've made anime girls real, and our boys have to break in. Well, we should probably read that scenario, shouldn't we? You must break into the area, steal the mission. It's a black bag job. The attacking team must be in contact with the objective for 2 activations while they steal the plans. The factory. If playing missions 1 to 5, defenders deploy first within the factory. Quarter of the force is on guard duty. Quarter of the rest are in the office building. I don't know where that is. We'll figure that out later. Guards may not leave the factory unless the arm is raised. The attackers deploy within 12 inches, and that's about it. Inside the complex should be crates, vehicles, machinery. Yeah. Oh, this could be great. Tune in next time as we go on the hunt for the secret plans to make anime girls real so that we can satisfy the hacker known as Faux Urchin. Until then, I'm praying for you.